where Zarvox, Tural, and Moderator are ready to commentate. The bans for this match coming from Pandemic Legion are the Barghest and the Typhoon Fleet issue, and the Tuskers Co. have banned the Fiend and the Oneros. The Fiend, that powerful AT prize ship, Barghest, Typhoon, those battleships that have been put to such good use so far in the tournament, and the Oneros, of course, the Galente armor Lagi. Quickly, based on those bans, CCP Lebowski joining us for the first time on the Alliance Tournament. What's your prediction for the match?
I'm going to lean towards the Tuskers for this. I think they've been doing really well, and I like their bands that they've come in.
A bold call. Yeah. The Tuskers Co. from CCP Lebowski. Is his first call a mistake? Who knows? Gorion, do you know?
Well, from what I've seen since I've been here in Iceland watching these games, the stumbles that I've seen from Pandemic Legion have been much more severe than the ones from Tuskers. I'm going to say Tuskers.
Wow, double Tuskers from the boys on the desk. We'll go to the boys in the booth for this match 123A of Alliance Tournament 14.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Zarvox. I'm here with Moderator. How's it going?
Going all right.
Good to hear, good to hear. And let's go through the lineup of Tuskers. First, we see Claymore, Scimitar, double Cerberus, double Orthrus, double Jackdaw, Kitsune, and a Flycatcher.
Meanwhile, PL have brought a pair of Astartes, a Guardian for armor, dodging the Oniro span, and a Drestia, a Phobos, a pair of Sviples, two Kitsunes, and a Kruor to round out the comp.
So we're seeing another Alliance tournament ship, but definitely a less common ship with the Adrestia. You don't see that too often in the AT these days, Moderator?
No, the Adrestia, one of the old prizes, I want to say from AT8 or AT9. It's been a while at any rate.
Yeah, the match has begun. Both teams warping in at roughly 50 and 30 kilometers, and the supports of both sides. That Adrestia is leading the charge. The Adrestia from PL moving in to try and get tackle, and immediate focusing onto the Guardian of PL. Will he be able to tank? Meanwhile, the Kitsune of Tuskers is being focused down, but seems to be taking a lot of the damage just fine.
Yeah, the Guardian has to be the primary for Tuskers. If they want to break anything with this rapid light comp, they need to break through the Guardian and then through the rest of the smaller ships. And they need to do it quickly.
And it really looks as though
they lose this Kitsune.
They're doing a pretty good job. Kitsune seems to be holding and catching reps. The Guardian was very late to take reps. Let's see what happens. Can he hold a scram onto the opposing Scimitar of Tuskers? That is a Hick scram. Will this Guardian go down? He's holding in very, very low armor. Can those drones keep him alive?
Yeah, it looks like the drones have gotten on top of him. He's getting all the rep bots, and by now the Cerberuses and all the Orthruses are going to be on rapid reload, or will be very shortly. So it looks like the Guardian survived the brunt. Meanwhile, the Tronicus is using about half his ASB charges, but Tinking is falling pretty quickly. Tuskers needs to find a way to either break this Guardian, who's now entering hull, or somehow deal with the rep drones.
XLASB is unable to tank, neither is the Guardian. Both ships seem to be running to the edge of their life, or both hitting structure at roughly the same time. Oh, will they make a
Scimitar
trade?
down for Tuskers. Major loss there.
Huge
the Guardian
loss.
is just holding on in a sliver of hull, barely keeping alive. Tuskers have to get this off the field if they want to have any chance of winning
quickly,
the match.
and finally
now he does.
It goes down.
So now that Tuskers have killed that Guardian, they can kill the Sviples and kill the Kitsunes. They need to do it so they can kite out the rest of the match.
They've already
Getting
lost
the
one of their own.
Kitsunes off the ground is going to be the perfect call, so that way the jams are off the field, so the Cerberus and the Orthrus can lock for the rest of the match.
This is really looking to be an interesting match. Interesting match. Both teams now losing their logistics. One Kitsune down on both sides. They're starting to now focus the Orthrus of Tuskers.
Orthrus has been tackled. He's got a web on top of him. He's still propping at a rapid speed that would be the cruel webs, but he's managed to break it. The Orthrus has run through about half his ASB charges, and we can see that the target painters are getting on top of the two Sviples, peeling off that crucial screen that Tuskers needs to get rid of in order to survive.
Their Cerberus is still scrammed, but no damage going on to that. They seem to still be trying to work down that Orthrus of Hoodie Mafia. In the meantime, the Svipple of Wayun and Doom Chinchilla taking some fire. Svipple looks to be going down in rather short order.
Yeah, Svipple down into hull. Meanwhile, the Claymore of Solomon Shua has been brought down.
And he is down.
That Claymore is going to be the links for Tuskers. And Hoodie Mafia, he's completely ran out of ASB charges. And the Kitsune and the crew are now taking damage. I like getting these ships off the field. Once you get them off, you can use your... You could have used your jams if you still had a Kitsune, but you can easy drones on top of the Phobos, on top of the Adrestia to maybe get that massive blaster damage off the field.
We're seeing real focused fire on the Orthrus of Tuskers, but at the same time, both Svipples now of Pandemic Legion and the Kruor is about to go down. They're really spreading their fire amongst the support wing of PL. Can they take down that second Kitsune? It looks like they will.
Yeah, Valcourt is being an absolute hero, surviving as long as he did, and now he's dropped. Now the jams are off for Tuskers. Tuskers needs to get those Jackdaws into sharpshooter mode, and just kite at range for as long as possible. The Astartes are completely tracking disrupted. They're not going to do great damage. I like killing the Adrestia now or killing the rep bots.
The Adrestia is doing a good job of staying out of scram range and not allowing himself to be hard tackled. They're now working on both the Adrestia and the Phobos a little. Meanwhile, PL trying to focus that Claymore and get their links off the field. He's hard tackled by the Adrestia as you.
He's going to have the Hexgram on top of him from the Phobos now. The Adrestia is into low armor. The Cerberus is going to be kinetic lock, so not doing great damage against either an Adrestia Phobos or even the Astartes.
But they're still not able to tank, it looks like.
Yeah, the kinetic damage that you have locked on a Cerberus is very weak against the damage.
Wow!
Adrestia down, that's the AT ship down for Pandemic Legion, but PL doesn't care too much about that.
No,
they want to grind through the Tuskers Co. Now we've got a Hexgram on top of the Orthros, Anuka misplaying himself and getting caught by the Phobos.
That
the
40-kilometer scram range
going to do
has held
work
him
on top
down.
of him. Meanwhile, the Astartes is going to be the primary. Tuskers wanting to work through the links, and with about half the time through the match, I think Tuskers can possibly win this. If they can get rid of most of the rep drones, the Cerberus can kite out the rest of the range with those tracking disruptors. Astartes will not track well, will not apply well, even with maximum range ammo. The Jackdaws can kite for forever, Flycatcher can kite for forever, Cerberuses can kite for forever.
They're taking quite a long time to take down this Orthros. He is tanking like a hero. Is he going to pull range now? I mean, he's not scrammed. Doesn't really make a difference right now.
No, unfortunately, he's taken too much damage. He's going to pop.
That was you can see there, it took him quite a while to realize that he was not actually, that he had broken scram and was able to burn away, but you could see him just hit his micro warp in the last 5 seconds of his life.
Now his Cerberus has been Hexgrammed again. Phobos has jam drones on top of him, but the Tuskers are misplaying this. And now another Jackdaw's been hit. They're kind of throwing the match, to be quite honest. They need to be able to keep a range from the Astar, keep the range from the Phobos. You just have to play keep away with these kiting missile setups, and getting all that damage, it means that you're going to be within scram range.
They're focusing down now the last Jackdaw of Tuskers, so without any control left on their side.
I'm not sure what happened to Miramin's Paxi. They needed to be far away at range. A bit of a choke, to be quite honest. With this Astarte now into hull, Tuskers can maybe pull this back, but the Cerberus has now been scrammed again.
They're not going to be ahead on points. Even
them.
with this Astarte, they're still going to be just below on points. PL is still in the lead points-wise. They have the Astarte's going to be doing much better damage now that the TDs are off him. One Astarte obviously down, so the loss of some links. But these Cerberuses, if they can keep range, the Cerberus
not going to keep range because he's Hexgrammed. So the
Hexgrammed.
Phobos is going to be on top of him shortly. The Cerberus is already into low shield, having to run that ASB, and I don't like the call of the Astar. I think they need to get rid of the Hexgram that the Phobos brings to bear.
Cerberus XL ASB fit, it looks like.
Yeah, so Tusker's really not doing a good job of kiting away. If they had been able to stay with their Jackdaws at range, that's couple hundred damage of selectable types. You can fire either Nova or Mjolnir. The Cerberuses are going to be firing kinetic, which is awful. Those Galente blaster boats having excellent resistance to kinetic, and they really needed that explosive or that EM damage to break these in time.
I mean, is it really... I mean, we have a fairly long amount of time left in the match. Is it possible that Tuskers is going to be able to pop either the Astarte or the Phobos in this time before losing a Navia, who is hard tackled, who has absolutely no chance of being able to pull range, barring a major fail?
If Behemoth and Evil One can kite away from the Astarte for the remainder of the match after this Astarte goes down, if it goes down, they can win on points.
This Cerberus is hero tanking. That
Cerberus is
XLASB.
absolutely hero tanking, but he's going to be almost out of charges.
While
that Astarte is completely out. So what the Evil One needs to do, along with Behemoth, is kite this away. Even though they had a bit of a misplay, they can bring this back. They have 3 minutes. They have all the EC drones on top of this Phobos.
With these two losses, they're going to be... PL is still going to be substantially ahead on points, assuming they can take down that Cerberus.
Well, no, PL is not ahead on points. Tuskers is going to be 3 up. So we have 12 and then 4 from the Flycatcher, making 16, 13 on the Phobos. So he's now going to be paid for by the Flycatcher or the Cerberus. They need to just play keep away from a Phobos, which is not that fast. He's going to be an armor tank ship. Cerberus and Flycatcher are going to be the shield variety. But what the Flycatcher has to do is not get popped by the Phobos. If they do, Pandemic Legion is going to be up 1 point ahead, and the Flycatcher is already in low shields. This Flycatcher just has to run away from the Phobos. He has to run away from this rail Phobos.
He's burning directly away now. Although he was burning away and maintaining transversal, but he's now decided to burn directly away, meaning transversal
is going to be absolutely zero. He just needs to get out of this range.
He started pulling up more transversal, now he's burning at
He's now into about hull, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. If he makes it,
it's not going to happen. Wow!
Oh my God! Tuskers throwing this. I don't think the Cerberus can break the Phobos in time.
I don't think so.
He's going to be rapid light missile fit against a very bad damage type. the Phobos has a perfect resist for what this Tuskers team, and they're going to lose with 1 point, I think, in the next minute and 40 seconds.
Is it likely that this Phobos is going to be active himself? Is he going to have a local rep? Is he going? I mean, Cerberus clip is going to be about 35k worth of damage, but with the epic resists of the Phobos, can he punch through that armor tank?
Very unlikely. So what's going to happen is, in a couple seconds, we're going to see the damage for the Cerberus completely drop into nothing. And actually, as we say this,
he's whistling away
he's
at that
whittling it
Phobos.
away.
I mean, once he hits structure,
he's going to get one more reload at the very most. And if I were him, I would switch possibly to another damage type. I'm not sure though. He might actually have enough.
he really looks like he might be able to take down Destroyer in the Phobos. Currently, though, obviously PL in the lead at 1 point. But if this Phobos goes down,
okay, we can see the
1v1.
missiles. So the missiles are not keeping up. So he's going to be on a 35-second reload. What that means is he'll have about 20-25 seconds to keep lock, to keep on top of him at 0. So what the Cerberus wants to do is ram him and prevent this Phobos from hitting the micro jump drive beacon. Get on top of him. Keep doing the damage. Did we just see a blank there from the Phobos? Yeah,
Wow.
we do.
Yeah,
He's
we do.
pulling up his micro jump drive. He's taking the top tier moderator advice. He's going to try to get away from the lock range of that Cerberus. Cerberus must get on top of 0. He's boundary violated. Tuskers will win it.
Win the match.
Tuskers has won
Boundary
it.
violation from Pandemic Legion. Thanks for coming through with what we expect to see from you. Well played.
And
I
now-
love this game.
I love that Eve too.
Whoa.
And now Eve is very
Whoa.
real for both teams. We're going to send it back to Antiquarian on the desk to break down that game of throws.
Oh God. I'm in a mower. What is this hot drop like? Number 19? Ah! Really a Titan for a mower? Dude hasn't been on a legitimate kill. Alright, just small ballers, mate. Small ballers.
PL dropping the first of this best of 3 series on an amazing play. It wasn't immediately clear to everyone viewing at home that micro jump was successful inside the arena. He jumped the 120 kilometers and then coasted out.
Literally too close to the edge.
Yeah.
He forgot to stop when he moved.
Icarus! Oh, Icarus! How far do you fall? Lebowski, what did you see going on there?
I mean, that was tense. That was back and forward, that match. I had my heart in my throat. There was some, it seemed like there was some awesome piloting and some not so good piloting on both sides, actually. There was a lot of people getting pinned down by the Phobos, which I was very surprised of, continually getting scrammed by that heavy scram that you get on the Phobos.
Is it a mistake for them not to target call that sooner?
It might be. I mean, they're also quite a kitey team as well. You think that they could focus on trying to stay out of that range. But yeah, it's tough to say.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw here, at least my perspective here, was they probably thought that they could ignore the Phobos longer, because the most important thing when you have those rapid lights and rapid heavies, whatever you got, it takes a really long time to reload. So you can't just be like, okay, well, this is now our problem, let's switch to it. There's clearly a case of we're just gonna have to ignore that for now because we're shooting this other thing and we don't have the right damage type, and it almost cost them the match.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we had a couple of piloting errors where they weren't keeping up good transversal. I mean, even when you're burning away to get out of range, you still got to go kind of at a tangent. You can't just go in a straight line away. You're just going to get slammed. We've had basically a complete like red wedding of a match here, where everything got stabbed and killed, and the corpses thrown up on the wall. I mean, this was a fun match to watch.
Certainly impressive. The two Logis both going down within 6 seconds of one another. Tin Kang holding on ever so slightly longer, but as always, and never disappointing me, buddy. I love you, but man, you, you pop like a pinata every time, which is common in the AT. I pick on the
course,
Logis,
most
but
people do.
but your Logis are singled out and pulled down. It happens in almost every match. In this match though, that Logi just almost not even coming into play as a advantage for either team because of how soon they go down, like almost at the same time. And then it's just back and forth on points. At one point, and I think it was Moderator who was suggesting that all Tuskers needed to do was maintain range. All they needed to do was get out of the way and just sit there and just not being able to do that. PL going up on points and then having to pursue them. That when the missiles stopped, everybody looked at the clock. The whole desk here just focuses in. Is it 59 minus 35, 25. Can he get away in 25? He can. He can get all the way away.
As far away as you can go, really. Yeah.
We've got a infographic coming up with the screen right now showing you how that damage played out. Looking at around 100,000 coming from both teams, 120 coming out of Pandemic Legion.
Look at the damage coming out of that Cerberus that was the last man standing. 32,000. That's a lot for a Cerberus with rapid lights.
He's doing what he needs to do, and he's taking hardly any at all. Obviously, PL not really focusing on those Cerbs early on. Really just targeting the Logi, getting that down, and making it a points game for them. We did see that Adressia go down. Again, one of those rare Alliance Tournament ships. In this tournament, teams are only allowed to field one Alliance Tournament ship. I think I'm fairly certain I have that ruled down correct. I'm almost 100% positive, which is what makes it, I guess, much more common for us to see teams fielding these single AT ship comps that are based around that ship. The Adressia seems like an odd choice, though.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the more uncommon ones because it's just in the current meta, it's not so great. Especially when you got something that's like restricted to, hybrids. It can be so affected by tracking disruptors or just being neuted out. I mean, it's something that we in Rogue Capella used a lot in AT8, where we fought two Proteuses, and what basically kept us alive was the fact that we were able to TD and neut out those blaster boats. And because of that, it's susceptible to that kind of control. And I don't think we saw that so much in this match. I mean, this was definitely where Tuskers went straight for that Guardian and just held on for dear life because everything after that meant that they could just sweep through it. But again, it's just kind of a weird choice. But
that Guardian and I mentioned this again.
White purity.
A glorious purity of the throne skin. Brilliant.
Yeah.
it looks good on fire, I found.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of different angles of it in different ships. It's just like, it looks better with flames.
And more ships tend to look better if they're burning or about to explode.
Shut up.
Sorry.
CCP Lebowski's first time on the desk. He doesn't know that Mimitar is a mistake. We will be moving forward.